Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Ephemeral One, and welcome back to more me rambling about the fucking DLC because, goddammit, we have a lot to focus on. Or rather, I just want to talk more about it because I know I did just a short stream yesterday, and frankly, if anything, it's more that there's little details about it that I want to focus on that you can only do while in the game. Problem is, point blank, I don't have the setup where I can stream from the game to my computer at the moment. So, I just hopped onto the PS5 and, well, here we are. Yes, I'm just kind of stalling for time until Rebirth happens tomorrow, and that'll shut me up for a while. But I wanted to come here to the depths, because this is one of those areas that a lot of people just overlooked and kind of just left be. Because, well, simply put, this area kind of speaks volumes about what we should expect for the DLC. The first basic thing to bring up is, end of the day, this whole area speaks to the fact that there's something underneath the Erd Tree. I mean, we're literally at the foot of it. Like, the Erd Tree's represented here on the map. This is very likely its trunk descending down. And as I've pointed out so many times, there's this endless network of roots that just fills this whole area. A lot of assumption is made that this is more of the lost city, the nameless eternal city that was destroyed. But again, I think there's more to it. I think there's a lot more to it. I mean, yeah. And yeah. No, I've never ridden right through this. I've always taken these insects out. So how many... do they follow you? Not really. Huh. I thought they'd follow you more aggressively. Well, there's their acid breath. Yeah. You know, I thought they'd be far more aggressive against you. Huh. Anyway. But yeah. As I've brought up in the past, one of the things that people kind of just go, it's whatever, is or at least kind of ignore in my mind, is the fact that this water is white. It's pale blood. The blood of the gods in Bloodborne. And take a look at the architecture. It's far more developed and detailed. Like, you can't tell me this isn't just, if not this whole area would make sense to me. These nameless eternal cities. Being references to Bloodborne and these well-developed cities that had all sorts of technology and architecture that and tools that are completely lost now. Either way, the bigger thing to note, hang on, let's see. To me is going through the DLC. Again, it would have made just as much sense that we would have to come here to reach underneath the Erd Tree. I mean, the place we need to go, supposedly, is Mog's Palace. That's the Lake of Rot. Yeah. The cocoon of the Empyrean. Now, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, there's a ring on this finger, too. Huh. No, I never looked close enough to know this. Yeah. There is a ring on their finger. So, naturally, the DLC is implying that we touch the hand and will be brought beneath this area. Now, it's known that one of the biggest things in this game is the simple truth that things were buried. It's the reason that the underground area under Lake of Liurnia was the Scarlet Rot Lake, which feeds from the Grand Cloister there, which feeds out into the Lake of Rot, but then that's cordoned off so that the rest of the aquifers for the Eternal Cities existed. So, in other words, during the time of the Nox, because one of the big things we're discovering is there's a lot more hidden underneath everything. There's layers upon layers to it. And it's very clear that in the images we've seen, the roots of the Shadow of the Erd Tree it's probably more literal in that is the land underneath the Erd Tree. So, to just give an idea, I'll be look forward to if you can't do the DLC if you've already beaten the game. I'm going to laugh at that. That'll be funny to me. If for no other reason than if our finger maiden is the one who guides us. But yeah. So just to be clear, the Erd Tree we burned, and we destroy the top of it. We get rid of the monster that lives with it, the god of law and order that lives within it, the Elden Beast. But what if that wasn't enough? What if, to truly destroy the Erd Tree and break us free of the cycles, it alters the ending, and we go down underneath the Erd Tree, and we all attack essentially the root of it. What we need to do is destroy it from both ends, maybe. And that's the key thing that Moog found, and some of the Moog and Mikola found, is a way to get to the roots and the absolute origins of the tree, what if we're only seeing half of the problem? Because, end of the day, out of everything that happens in Elden Ring, almost all of it can be traced back to the existence of the Erd Tree and the way things were, and the way things are handled regarding its power. And the Order's focus on control and, laws and rules. It's just a lot to take in, and we'll have our answers soon enough. Because the other thing is Mikula's Halig Tree. It makes one wonder. A flower and a tree, actually. Would this actually be speaking to the order of magnitude of the two siblings? Thinking about it. Mikula's strength was enough to raise an entire tree, where Malenia's only enough to make a flower bloom. That might be an interesting one to consider. That maybe the twins weren't so equal. After all, for all the trouble, power, and problems that we all have with Malenia, end of the day, she's rotting from within, literally. But all she ever wanted was to support the Halig Tree. To support her brother's vision. Well, since we're messing around anyway. By the way, if you see a skull on a area, that's just me marking off what tombs I've cleared out. Let's see. And I think I've been pretty thorough and gone through. Yeah. Capital Rampart. Yeah. But it's something to consider, just what we're being offered. I mean, end of the day, Mikula's Halig Tree was to be his answer to the Golden Orders. And I guess then, if I have to accept that, I guess that's the question then.
Well, divorce from one's...
Let's see. Distinguished Great Shield. Sorry, Rusty, a YouTuber, just did a whole list of all the shields in the game, so It's just funny to think about. Anyway, so from what we can tell with the DLC, there's going to be interesting enemies. Looks like there's going to be a lot of grabs. The little worm creatures I remember seeing, which are going to be, honestly, Kindred of Rot adjacent, if not just a... But it'll be interesting because of the design difference. What they plan to do with this. Yeah, I know you're in there. But yeah. It's one of those things where I'm just trying to figure out in my head whether I believe that we're going to find out Mikola was sincere or just using Melania. That's the question. And which is going to prove out the greater of the for the DLC. Because as I said, the DLC is, since it's going to be focused on Mikola's background, because they're the one Empyrean we don't get anything really for, aside from a basic sword, it becomes kind of an interesting question of who Mikola was. We know that they were one of two children. Oh, huh? I left one alive? Huh! I left one alive. Okay. Yep. Huh. Yep. Huh. Sorry, I'm genuinely did not realize I'd left one alive. Yeah. Alright. Oh! 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 Wow! 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 Alright. I guess I should actually try. Alright, get rid of the little... Alright. Alright. Nope. Yep. Okay. Yep. There we go. Oh, it fell off the cliff. I hate doing that to those... Hey, the twin bird kite shield. I completely didn't realize I didn't kill all the death birds. I really should go looking for them. Well, let's see, how's it stack up? Because, yeah, I've been using an occult the Dragon Tower shield. Twin bird. Nah, it's not horrible. Yeah, no. It just... The dragon one is just useful. But anyway. And for those curious, this is my fuck around account, like my fuck around character. This character has like 168 hours on them. This is the character I just used to mess around. Not like mess around like broken build, but mess around as in, this is the first character I'll be using in the DLC. Because I've said so many times, I'm a spear wielder first and foremost. Yep. There we go. Yeah. And yes, I'm built like a goddamn monster. Oh, for those curious stat-wise, 50 vigor, 23 mind, 30 endurance, 50 strength, 50 dex, low intelligence faith, 20 arcane, because I intend to build it back up because I was just messing around with stat builds and ran out of silver spawns to respec, which I imagine there'll be more in the DLC. But basically I ran out, so I'm not too worried about it, but my original main weapon for this was using, of course, Mogwin's Sacred Spear. Yeah, I'm just a few points short of being able to use it again, but it's ridiculously powerful and, like, yeah. Same thing, like, again, I'm a spear wielder, so naturally I gathered the four of the most powerful spears I could. You know, Inquisitor's Girandol, Mogwin's Solaria's Tree, Godslayer Greatsword I actually just got recently because I never bothered going down there. Which actually, for the DLC purposes of explaining that, let's actually head to one of the towers. Any of the Divine Towers will work. Any Divine Tower you can... yeah. The gate to the East Tower. That'll work. Alright. Because what I want to show is here. Take a look at the ethereal energies. Note that the shroud we see over the main tree in the Shadow of the Erd Tree DLC. It's made of this same ethereal energy that's in every Divine Tower, and every Divine Tower is channeling down. Note that every Divine Tower has been a way to channel whatever sacred energy or power they can, seemingly from the stars down into the earth. And this is in every single one, and again, each of them is associated with one of the Empyreans. So, with each of the Empyreans. So, and that's no small feat, considering there's the Isolated, the Divine Tower East, and West, for the twins, Mogwin and Mogwin, for both twins. The Divine Tower of Caelid, Liurnia, Limgrave. Yeah. There's all these Divine Towers, which would always pointed us at one simple truth. Based on their positioning, this cloud here is likely where we're headed for the DLC. This will probably be how you access it. Like like going here to the Cocoon of the Empyrean will draw us in to this central area, where all this energy is likely being directed and gathered, and will deliver us to whatever location is more specifically focused on that. Every Divine Tower is doing the exact same thing, which means that's very likely the part of the actual plan. The question, because end of the day, Mikola was obviously not interested in playing by the rules. Mikola was an Empyrean, but obviously did not care much for what was being set up. We know this because... let's see, where is it? Let's see. Laws of causality, law of regression, Radagon's rings of light, triple... yeah. Produces 3 rings of light, then fires them forward. The rings of light return to position close to the caster before disappearing. This incantation can be cast repeatedly. A gift from the young Mikola to his father Radagon. So when Mikola was interested in trying to earn Radagon's favor, this is what he showed him and gave him a gift of. Radagon then, fundamentalist, a gift of gratitude to the young Mikola from his father Radagon. And yet the young Mikola abandoned fundamentalism, for it could do nothing to treat Malenia as a cursed rot. This was the beginning of unalloyed gold, so pure gold, that could resist Malenia's rot. The other thing is his weapon, Sword of St. Trina. Yeah. Silver sword carried by the clerics of St. Trina inflicts sleep. St. Trina is an enigmatic figure. Some say she is a comely young girl, others are sure he is a boy. The only certainty is that their appearance was as sudden as their disappearance. We likely believe that to be tied to Mikola. And actually one of the shields, where is it? Because there's a dream tree shield. Let's see. Brass. Huh. Maybe I don't have it on this character. There is a dream tree shield of a story of a tree, the tree who gave a... oh no, wait, I'm thinking of Dark Souls 3, sorry. But still, from where we stand, this is all... tree. Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to think where else. Because end of the day, the biggest things to me, because the mysteries we're being brought up to is effectively what seems to be Mikola and Malenia's what they were intention, because very much the Halig tree seems to represent Mikola's dedication. Or at least their ability to pull just about anyone they wanted into their fold. And it's no doubt in my mind that these mushrooms, which are very much the same as what Bloodborne used for, that would grow around the blood, the white blood of the gods. There we go. Yeah. this very much feels the same. And I won't be surprised when the seeming the motif of like the gladiatorial combat falls away and we start seeing almost Bloodborne-esque imagery. Yep. Towards the end of the DLC, I wouldn't be surprised. Yep. Yeah. Oh, actually, I should check. How much did I need for a level? Oh, I have enough, so I might as well. Might as well secure that level. But yeah. Because the whole thing with Mikola is that they're able to charm just about anyone. Their androgynous appearance, making everyone just want to work with them. And they seemingly are a kind, sweet, and sincere soul. How much of it's true versus how much of it is just them manipulating people, we can't really say so easily right now. Yeah. Wow. I forgot how hard that hits. The area, how far that hits. I forgot I was too close to the wall. I was trying to get the backstab. Oh well. Not a big deal. But yeah. Mikola. So I'll say it again. I did a crackpot theory video. If you check back in my videos about it. I thought maybe it was Marika and we were advancing into Marika's past. But no, it seems we're chasing Mikola. The reason I thought that is time travel is not an unheard of concept, but I forgot that that's more... Honestly, that's more the Souls series than the convolution of time. Is more of a Souls staple than than Elden Ring, because I have to remember Ow. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm rolling too soon. Not that I need to roll. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Okay, I need to stop messing around. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Okay. There we go. Wow. I forgot how hard you hit. Yeah, I forgot how hard you guys actually hit. Yep. Yeah, okay. There it is. Finally got the backstab. Yep, there we go. Anyway. Messing around to done. I mean, it's one of those things where I guess what I'm constantly thinking about is how truthful. I keep saying it, but there's this image all across the Halig tree that poses Melania and Mikola as these pitiable figures. The only other thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way, so to speak, the figure we see at the end of the trailer, the golden-shaped figure we can only see from, like, over their shoulder, who one would assume wrapped in light like that. No, not yet. It's not out till the 21st. I'm just talking about it. This is me being back on my DLC. This is me being back on my bullshit, thus the title, about Elden Ring's DLC. Nope, the DLC isn't out till June. I'm just talking about it because picking apart the lore things and the motifs that they're going with. We'll get to the actual DLC. It'll be sooner rather than later. Plus, it's an excuse to play more Elden Ring while I wait for Rebirth to come out tomorrow. Because that is going to be nice. Now here's a fun question to think on. Why is Mikola's tree the whole way out here? Like, you have to go through the entirety of the consecrated snowfields and fight through the tops of the tree to get to it. What is at the base of this tree? And why do we need to go this far out of our way? If I had to guess, and there's no real big supporting thing, aside from the fact, we never find Mikola's Divine Tower. We find everyone else's. Mikola's is never seen. Which would lead us to believe that Elphael, this entire area, is actually Mikola's Divine Tower at the center. It would make sense why this place is called Elphael, the Brace of the Halig Tree, then. They had... Mikola and Melania had this built to support the tree that would rival the Golden Orders. The bigger question, and I mean, it makes sense. I think they were planning to replace the Golden Order with their own. Or at least that was the hopes for when they eventually cured Melania's rot. Or at least that's the outward perception of it. Yep. Yep. Everyone kind of assumes this would become the second major city once Melania was cured and the rot would be pushed away forever. But the fact of the matter is that day never came. And we come in and kill Mikola we come in and kill Melania before it could ever come to pass. The interesting question is this game going to be, is the DLC going to be a flick to the nuts, where we will be able, where when we come through, end the DLC by getting an item that would have cured Melania. Yep. And yeah. And yeah. And actually you can survive that drop down there. But yeah. There's a lot. Yep. And I thought I had it. Nice. But yeah. The eggs that the kindred of rots leave behind as they spawn their own. Yep. So, Nicola's golden ring. Unalloyed gold. Yep. Okay. Because it's been brought up before, but Mikola basically believed that unalloyed gold, so pure, is the pure light, is the answer to purifying Melania, perhaps. Yep. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. I don't know, just with this game, it seems so much more efficient to rely on good weapon skills. Because that just brings us down to where all the revenants are, and I don't feel like dealing with them. But yeah. And there's places like this that are overgrown. Honestly, it's one of those things where it's the question of how much you want to believe. So, Mikola and Melania. Two children born of the Erd Tree's heritage. So much dedicated to the imagery of those two. But why do I get the feeling that Mikola's ideals are going to be on full display? Huh. You know, I never really noticed. Take a look at the roots. I never really noticed that. The roots of the Erd Tree not only extend out to hold up the two children, but amid the roots there's more children supporting it, which I wonder. And there seem to be almost like fruits being born of it, of the roots. So very likely, is this the representation where... Okay, so that would make sense, actually. Mikola believing that there's a cure. Alright. Okay. I don't think I have any blunt damage on me. Oh, I do have the hammer. Okay. There it is. Yeah, as I said, I forgot to keep a hammer on me. Yeah, that'll work. Gonna take me a little bit. Yeah, that'll work. Yep. Nice. Yep. Completely unupgraded hammer. Beyblade! I mean, you're not going to get any spells off. And it's just a matter of time, really. Alright. There we go. Alright. Oh. Huh. So you heard all that, huh? Alright. Hello. Yep. Alright. So I don't know if I made out good or bad on that one. Yeah. Alright. Yep. Yep. I'm already afflicted, so I don't have to worry about that. Yep. 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 Gotcha. I got any left? Yeah, I do. Okay. I should make some more. I am out of crystal cave moss. Oh, okay. I have to go mine some out. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Yep. Oop. Aww. Gonna suck for you, buddy. Oh noes. Yep. And there we go. Anyway, guess I'm just mostly trying to parse together in my head where we end up. Yeah, you see me. I mean, I've gotten down here, it's just... dealing with all the revenants down here sucks. Because revenants are not fun to deal with. Never have been, never will be. I say, I'm pretty sure I've grabbed everything down here, so there's nothing. But the presence of so many revenants does beg the question. Because, yeah, like, when you get to the Haligtree roots, like, this whole area is overrun. Yeah, this whole area is just overrun with the Scarlet Rot enemies, representing that likely, but there's still the kindred of Rot who worship Melania. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right? Yeah. Oh. Alright. And the little ones. But yeah, the kindred of Rot, it makes you... Yeah. Honestly, it's one of those things where it's clear that these things are made from, or grow from, human corpses. And they feed off them. It's why they're in this temple in the first place. They're just eating up the corpses to make more. That's what the kindred of Rot do. But more than that, what prevented this from happening long ago, or when this place first was established, I imagine. Ow. Yeah. When this place was first established, I very much imagine Miquella's influence kept things relatively peaceful. And it's only the lack of Miquella that has let things get as bad as they have. Because outside this temple, depending on which way you go, you either come across more of the Rot, kindred of Rot, but just a few feet away. Not like literally feet. Miquella's knights, who are no slouches and would have no issue at all. Yep. Yeah, these guys would have no issue with the Kindred of Rod. It's not even a contest. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah. Oh, one of the nicer great shields. It is technically just a straight upgrade. It's a little heavier. But I still have the medium roll, so I'm fine with this. But yeah, like, you just saw how much more work it took me to take out one Hailing Knight. And we've seen that the regular soldiers are no slouches either. Like, yeah, the Hailing Tree Gauntlets. Gauntlets were sworn to the Hailing Tree, rust-worn and stained through unending conflict. All the same, because they all came from the same source in the same area at the same time, it's just who they honored and were sworn to. In the Shattering War, it was just who you sided with. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, how do you like it when it's an even fight, you prick? Alright. Yep. Alright. Nice. Alright. Get my stamina back. Ha! Gotcha. Yep. I do love that they get it back, they get their HP back so fast on that. There it is. But yeah, you can see, this would not be a fair fight. It's clear that Miquella's knights, because they're all wearing the helmet of gold, unalloyed gold, so it's clear they're sworn to Miquella versus Malenia. Which is why they're so quiet and depressed and standing over graves of those that have fallen. And honoring those who are still waiting and hoping for Miquella's return. Same with Malenia herself. Thus, half of what you're encountering here with the Kindred is just that those monsters are just being opportunistic as they ever are. Though, if we want a hint as to Miquella's methodology, let's call it, remember those carvings in the walls that showed children buried in roots? Very likely, Mikola was the only one of the Empyreans to grasp the full nature slash horror of what the Erd Tree actually is, where it feeds off of everyone in the catacombs to support the god of the tree, the beast, the Elden Beast. Very likely, each of these trees is an offshoot of the Halig tree, and they're looking to do the same. So, I'll ask, these gnarled trees, if you look closely, can you start to see faces? Alright. Yep. Got him before he could. Or are you just seeing things? These could just be regular trees, you know. They might not be horrible abominations feeding on the corpses of the dead. But we know for a fact the Erd Tree is one of those things. Because at the end of the day, in every catacomb in the game ends with a pile of corpses, and we're told that they're being made one with the Erd Tree. Yep. Go on. And Mikola's lilies, commonly growing here. The other thing that we find, Trina, of course, the big correlation is St. Trina's lilies and Mikola's lilies are seemingly all but the same thing. A delicate water lily of unalloyed gold that started to fade and wilt. Material used for crafting extremely. A flower signifying faith in the Halig tree. Thought to be beloved by the Imperial Mikola in his youth. A light purple water lily that is on the verge of wilting. A symbol of faith in Saint Trina. Dulls the senses, preventing agitation. The question becomes, which came first, then? Well, they specify that Mikola's lily is from his youth, so very likely becoming Saint Trina was an alias to study, because it prevents agitation, which is useful in keeping subjects docile while you experiment on them. There it is. I heard him. But yeah. So, as things stand, piecing together what we can from the DLC, what we saw, Mesmer the Impaler is very likely, if not the direct child of Mogwin and Mikola, at least someone chosen by them to wield both Mogwin's flames, because the first thing he uses is that dark magic to summon those the blood flame, which very likely means he isn't, from what I can tell, he isn't one of the Omen himself. Like, the wings on him are not his. Those come from the snake he's carrying. In every place I've looked on his statue, so he's not an omen, so the blood flame does not come naturally to him. Which also is horrifying, because it's the thought that they figured out a way to turn it into a miracle, unsurprisingly, that will absolutely enable more powers to be able to be used that. Now, we all thought Mikola was stolen away. But what if Mikola willingly went with Moog? That changes the context a bit. Maybe Moog promised a way to save Melania. Maybe Moog had some trick up his sleeve. After all, Mikola was powerful in their own right, strong enough to be considered an Empyrean. The same as Melania, the same as Ronnie, the same as so many others. And depending on how you view it, it may simply be a case where we have to accept that whether Mikola and Melania would what they were actually pursuing with all this. Because it's all too easy to believe Mikola would betray Melania. He had her absolute faith, her absolute trust. I mean, the only thing that, again, we seem to be missing is Mikola's divine tower. And I truly wonder if it is in fact. Yep. Yeah, here we go. Ow, that hurt more than I remember it doing. Okay. Did I never come over here? I never came over here. Okay, well, Erdtree, another avatar. Well, not avatar, alright. Like, I know you're here. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I did with this. Alright. There it is. Get up. Over here, you prick. Yeah, and these things, these grotesque abominations of the Erdtree. I mean, okay, the thing it reminds me of is the one reborn from Bloodborne. The flailing secondary limbs, the large front mass that pulls it along. Yeah. This very much screams the one reborn. And more importantly, screams about how that boss was always a failed abomination of life. Or the mockery of life, anyway. Okay. Yes. Yep. And down you go. Alright. This is the reason they don't give you many places where you can get above the boss. Okay. Ow. Yep. Yep. Alright. Ow. There's Scarlet Rot. Okay, I need to get the bow off me. Yep, and dead. Yep. Yeah. Well, good source right there. Alright. So from there, inner wall. It's slightly faster to get my souls back. Yeah. Oh wow, I never even bothered killing that trio. Oh. Huh. Man, I really did not clean out at this place that well. Yeah, I really did not clean this place out that well. 168 hours and I spent so much of it doing other stuff. Okay. Well, let's get to it. The march through the Scarlet Rot. Which is just as deadly as ever because it does percentage damage. Yep. Yep. Actually, what do I... Actually, let's take a look at what I have equipped, because that might help. Crimson Seed, definitely. Erdtree's Favor, Great Jar's Arsenal, and Crimson Amber. I could probably drop Crimson Amber. I mean, immunity, so, yeah. Yeah. I saw a picture the other day, actually, of someone trying to depict young Melania. Which was actually kind of funny, because it looked like she was very much the, very much the I need my coffee in the morning to try and get going kind of person. And I wondered about, I made a joke about people, about Melania complaining that no one else can make coffee right for her, and it's just because Mikola, like, forces more, like, Aeonian butterflies into her coffee. So I wonder if that was, like, it. And just the... And the more I think about it, the more it feels right. Oh. There we go. Yeah, you can't really run through this area, so... Best to just take it slow, slaughter them as you go. Yeah. Don't bother curing yourself till you're the whole way through. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because you have to come down and around to get up there, right? There we go. Alright. Yep. You always seem to fall in the water, so I can't do anything to you. Yep. Ow. Okay. At the very least, must get my runes back. Alright. Do I really care? Let's see. I have a sacrificial twig, sure. We'll go for it again. Got it. Okay. So it was just the summon buff. Okay. Yep. There's the rocks. Because that's inevitable, really. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. This thing wants to just knock you off pretty much constantly. Yep. Yeah. Yep. And of course, time's on its side because you're inevitably going to get Scarlet Rotted in this. Yeah. Ah, got me. Yeah. Okay. But that's why I put the twig on. Twigs and twinks, always best used. Mwah. I know what I said. Anyway, with another level down, what we can do... yeah, increase the runes. And actually, since I remember seeing the trio of golems, what was my blunt damage I had on this? Alright, so weaponry, Iron Greatsword can go away, Godslayers can go away. Okay, partisan. My four mains, let's see. Okay. So, what was my blunt damage like? What did I use to smash Crystallians? Oh, right! Oh, but I don't have the faith anymore, do I? No, I don't have the faith anymore to use it. Yeah, 19. Okay. Because I'm at, 9 faith. Okay. So now, I used to use Marika's hammer just because it was funny. Let's see. But then I messed around and moved my faith my faith around, so nope, can't use that. Let's see. So yeah, Marika's hammer. Did I have anything else? Oh, quality battle hammer. Anything else I bothered to upgrade? No. Okay. Alright. $5.15. And it's only a... Oh god, it's only plus 17. I never bothered to upgrade it any farther. Yes, and I have a... And yes, I have a mid-roll using the Great Shield and the Battle Hammer. Alright. Hey, buddy! Yep. Yeah. Oh noes. Yeah. I might actually have to take it somewhat seriously and not just jump in. Okay. Because easy way to... Yep. Ow. Okay. Because... Yeah. Leading these three... Leading the two away from the spellcaster was always the biggest strategy. Yep. Alright. There we go. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. Yep. 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 Oh, wow, I got lucky as hell on that one. Alright. Yep. There we go. Come here. There it is. Yep. Ah, there it is. Good night. Yep. There's my stamina back. Now you're royally fucked. I'm not even gonna bother curing it. Come on. Now you're the easy one. Yeah, I'm not standing there for that. Yeah. Sucks to be you, buddy. Yeah, as the caster, you spend a lot of time standing still. And so long as I interrupt your animations... There it is. And there we go. That was good. Yeah, the Rotten Crystal Sword. Not bad. Yeah, I completely forgot I didn't bring my battle hammer with me. I put it away. I couldn't remember, and it's been so long since I used this character, I couldn't remember what I'd upgraded to deal with, to do my blunt damage. It was Marika's hammer, and then this. Alright. Well, while we've got some extra runes on us, let's head back to the round table and see about doing some upgrades. See if I've got enough stones on me. Let's see.
Now.
Alright, now I need more sixes. I need 6 sixes to finish it off. Let's see. Do. Alright. Thank you. Because I might as well shape it up before we start hitting the DLC. And again, I'll be really curious if we'll be able to post-game activate it. Alright, so 7s, so 2, 4, 6, yeah, so 12. Alright. So need 12, might as well get this as high up as possible. Never know if we're going to need some more blunt damage. So, might as well get myself prepped for the DLC. So, 11. And... okay. And I don't have any rune... oh, I do have a couple of rune items, so... just to cover the costs. Alright.
Now.
Alright. Okay. I just need 3. Alright. Because some of the bosses in the DLC may end up being weak or strong against certain types of damage, so... alright. So then, just need... okay. Let's see. $26. The greases I never really use, so... alright. Let's see. Raw meat dumplings. The chuckables. I'll keep warming stone just in case. Yeah. There. 23. Sweet. Alright. So all things considered, that's what? It's up to 630 damage. Huh. That's actually really respectable. Maybe I should switch back to the quality Naginata. Let's see. Because our... alright, so our basic 567 currently. So... Ashes. Yeah, Ashes of War. I'll definitely keep the Flaming Strike. Black Flame Tornado is nice too, but it locks you in position a little too long, in my opinion. But... oh no, it is a... okay. So if we wanted to do... yeah, we're at the point where... yeah, Stormcaller would not be bad. Giant Hunt is devastating. Yeah. So that puts the Naginata at what? Yeah, 567, so it's just a question of do I want a secondary damage type, really. But for raw damage, the hammer kicks ass. Alright. The two fingers, huh? Yep. Equipment of Champions. Never bothered really picking any of it up because none of it really felt that worth it. Elden Lord Godfrey, first Elden Lord. The Age of the Erdtree began amongst conflict when Godfrey was Lord of the Battlefield. He led the war against the giants, faced the Stormlord alone, and then there came a moment when his last worthy enemy fell, and it was then, as the story is told, that the hue of the Lord of Godfrey's eyes faded. In other words, what that by and large tells us is he was under Marika's control, or rather the control of the Elden Beast, until he was pushed away. And we'll see the truth of, yeah, the gauntlet made of unalloyed gold. So this is solid gold, is what they're saying. Loretta, the knight who served Miquella's hailing tree. Loretta was once a royal Carian knight. Her lapis lazuli blue cape is the emblem of the knightly pride she continues to guide her. She simply believed that Miquella was a greater person to serve than Ranni, who was rather selfish by comparison. And, well, or maybe it might be more a case that when Ranni staged her death, Loretta was simply lost and decided to serve a new master. Because there's not much to attest to it, other than both of them being very magic-oriented, but there's very likely a place where there might have been a true friendship between Ranni and I remember seeing in the DLC one of these towers, these testaments, and I do wonder, the 4 belfries that can take you to several challenges. The Precipice of Anticipation, where the game began, so you can take out that damn Revenant who took you out in the first one, in the very beginning of the game. Dragon, Crumbling Lands. that gives you an early view of crumbling Farum Azula. Now, one thing I want to believe, like I said, is that Mikola was the one who discovered the full truth of what all was going on with the Erd Tree. They grasped, because Melania says Mikola had the wisdom. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Which would lead us to believe Mikola had some information no one else did, and took it with him when he left. Because as far as we can tell, it's called the Cocoon of the Empyrean. Is it very likely that their knowledge they took with? And there, from here, if you look out from where we're looking, what we're seeing is several things. First is, that's the isolated Divine Tower. Now here's the interesting bit about that. If that's the isolated Divine Tower, we can see something here that we can't access to this point. A second Divine Tower. It's not on the map. And it's not like, because it's definitely not Caelid's, because Caelid's Divine Tower is all the way inland. This is why I brought it up earlier. We never visit Mikola's Divine Tower. We can see it. It's right there. It's right on the map. But we can't visit it. There's the other thing. There's a divide. The ocean's water is flowing into this crevice down here. Into this lower area. Theoretically speaking, based on the way physics work, there's a divide through the map. A crease that's easy to miss. And it wraps around all of the lands between. Almost as if this place was not here always, and is looking to be settled into a position. In other words, there's something more about this area we don't know yet, and we have not been permitted to explore. Which is why, if I'm honest, as we close in on the DLC, so there's still 4 months, right? There's something we have to ask ourselves. Do you expect this to be the only DLC? And my simple truth, my friends, is no. I don't expect this to be the only DLC. Unless From Software decides that's enough, or they answer everything, we're missing key things, and I'd be curious to see what they want to do. Because here, again, this is clearly the only divine tower that we don't get to see. There's a church between them, and that is the isolated one that is tied to Melania. And again, we can see there's that crevice where all the water's flowing into. Because if we go just to show it off, the Bestial Sanctum. The long and short of it is, we are looking down the point where we're going to probably come back up at the end of the DLC. And engage with one of the two it'll probably bring us up to Miquella's Divine Tower. Like, it's interesting to note, and something a lot of people fail to notice about this area. There's a crevice in the ocean. I always love bringing this up because this is tied to Miquella and Melania. Like, the land between is higher than the rest of the ocean. Thus, the water of this land is flowing down and out. And that is obviously the isolated Divine Tower. Is there. And if we follow this around, there we go. Follow this around. There. Isn't it weird? There's nothing there from here. You can see the Caelid's Divine Tower there in the distance. That's all the way over there. But isn't it weird? I can't see. Is it just the fog? No. There is no tower we can see from here. We can see the cathedral, we can see the main Divine Tower, but from this location, you can see the isolated, but you cannot see the Divine Tower the second divine tower. It only shows up if you can see it from Farum Azula. Miquella has hidden his divine tower. I love this little detail. You could consider it an oversight, or, more likely, it's done on purpose. Miquella never had the intention, and the question we have is how much did he know? How much did Marika tell him? That is the interesting question. Again, I'm not making this up, I'm not making a big deal out of nothing. This is done purely on purpose. Melania's Tower. That's the Bestial Sanctum we were just at. There's an extra tower you can only see from certain locations. Because that would be Caelid's, yeah, from the center. Yeah, you can only see, again, Melania's Tower. Miquella's is hidden. Miquella hid this from everyone but those he trusted. Or those he could not. I cannot express how much these little details are so smart, so easy to miss, and so cool. I'm not making this up. This is simply how it is. Again, this is what's interesting about this character. Now that I know that we're not dealing with Marika's story, I am of the firm belief, absolutely, that we are going to be dealing with this, and that makes me believe this will not be the last DLC. I think there will be one more, and it will deal with wrapping up every last dirty secret of the Golden Order. Like, we can see it from here. But, again, the Divine Tower of Caelid you can't see it from. Even at night. That was the only other thing I wanted to test, is if nighttime revealed it, but no. But yeah. The only places you can see Miquella's Tower from that we are not able to access is from Farum Azula and from Melania's Tower. She was the only one who would know. Well, and Marika, of course. I imagine, though, Night Sky Unceasing, nope. But yeah, it's one of those interesting details of, it's easy to miss, and it's easy to completely overlook. But it's the fact of A, we've seen Miquela's tower, but we've never actually been able to visit it, which I assume the DLC is going to rectify. We're going to be able to gain whatever Miquela's rune is. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the interesting one. What power was so great that it could actually hold back the Scarlet Rot? Because, for the sake of the Halig Tree, Miquela's power had to be... Yep. Had to be as strong. Yep. Yep, got him. There we go. Yeah. Miquela's power had to be on par. So it's a question of who did he trust? And it's clear Melania was about the only one. His twin sister. So then, what's the twin to rot? Growth. But his growth seemed to be stunted. And again, it's easy to mistake that second tower as just going, oh, well, yeah, that's just the Divine Tower of Caelid over there. Because it lines up with the way the beast sanctum is. It's easy to go, yeah. And goes, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But then you come here and you're like, what? Well, there's another tower. But if you go anywhere near that, and it's easy to say, okay, and that's the tower to Liurnia. That's just how far it is. And that's the Tower of Limgrave. The distance is obscured. And yet we can barely make out the clouds through the clouds and mist. Just little things like this that hide. So basically, that is Miquela's tower. We have yet to find a way to it because Miquela doesn't want us to. Because Miquela is also not dead. That is the interesting point you have to make for yourself. Miquela isn't dead. And the idea of that holds that it's easy to say, well, look at him. In the cocoon of the Empyrean. In Mogwyn's Dynasty Mausoleum. A great cocoon with a single arm sticking out. If you feel I'm wrong, feel free to speak so, but... And there's a ring on it that is very much the same ring, an emblem of Mogwyn's, of Miquela's representation as the ring. Where essentially, Mikula was looking to usurp the Erdtree's role. Now, the question would become, what did they need down here? Why did Mogwin build his place down here? Why usurp the place of the ancestor worshippers? Because, make no mistake, this entire place was dedicated to the ancestor worshippers. And what's more interesting about that is note the legs on every statue of the ancestors. Every time they're clutching a plate. This actually delves more into Marika's role in all this. Note that every one of them is clutching one of those stone tablets. And where are those stone tablets in this game? Well, they're all the way back in the Queen's bedchamber. Now, Marika and Radagon may have shared a body, but that doesn't mean they were of one mind. If anything, I find that the more and more I see about them, I think they were at odds towards when the revelation of the Erdtree hit them. And Marika sought, above all else, to liberate herself, her children, from the Erdtree's control, from the Elden Beast's path and control. It's why she broke the control and spell it held over Godfrey. Because Godfrey was the strongest. He was the unbeatable overall. And so, liberating him would lead to others being stronger, and bring others to this land. Again, the ancestor worshippers, we see them depicted all throughout the game, and they're all clutching these tablets, holding secrets and truths. And how does this tie into Shadow of the Erdtree is, I think Marika told Mikula the very complete truth, and only told Mikula. And Mikula realized that to stand against the Erdtree, the answer he came to, rather than before he would destroy it, he'd provide an option. Simply destroying the Erdtree wouldn't be enough. You need to provide an alternative. Because once everything is ended, well, something else has to take its place. And so Mikula opted to take its place, creating his own Halig tree, and would seek to replace the Golden Order with something he viewed better. Or at least that's what it seems. It's also worth noting these knights and scholars who are depicted guarding the Erdtree. And that, more importantly, take a look, folks. The thorny branches. Even before the flames, this area seemed more like this was never meant to be opened. Like this was a closed gate where one simply would observe and kneel before the Erdtree. And as if somebody had pushed their way through before. I mean, Godfrey's confidence has to come from somewhere. And I very much imagine it was Godfrey who broke this first, who cut through the stone and came up and faced Marika when she said, after she broke control of him, he would inevitably want answers. Why? What have you done? Why are you doing this? And he cut it open. Marika, for being such a central figure, is actually surprisingly absent. We hear more about Radigan than we do Marika, really. The interesting bit about that, and the truth of the matter, is very much that, very likely, in the battle between Radigan's control and Marika's wish for whatever she wanted, because it's unclear what Marika's goal is, and it's why I don't believe that this, and if this is focused on Mikola and Melania, our hunt for Mikola as the last Empyrean, I think there'll be one more DLC. I'm not doing any specific build, this is just what I came up with just to mess around. 50 Vigor, 23 Mind, Endurance, 30, 50-50 on Strength Dex, and 22 Arcane, because I like spears, and a good number of spears are... And some of the best spears are... Well, but yeah. So, from that, how that ties in is... Mikola, I believe... Marika eventually tells Mikola everything. How the tree feeds on the dead, which you can see in every single catacomb. It doesn't matter which one you pick. Every grave and every catacomb in this game ends the exact same way. I'll just pick random. You've seen it. We've all seen it. Yeah. Nope, coming. Okay. And avoid the trap. Yep. There we go. But yeah, every catacomb ends the exact same way. The corpses are brought down and fed and merged into the roots of the Erd Tree. Again, and you have to remember, up until very recently, or basically when the main story happens, this is the closest people come to true death. When you are exhausted of living, when you can't, and you've been granted immortality by the Erd Tree, the only thing you can do is feed yourself back into the Erd Tree to become one with it. Every single catacomb exists here for that purpose. For you to let your body break down to the point where the tree can take you back in. And it feeds off that. Every single catacomb. And there are what? Dozens. So many of them all across this game. I mean, every hero's grave, every one of them serve the exact same purpose of this. Doesn't matter which catacomb you're talking about. Every single one of them serves to feed the Erd Tree. And as I brought up in the past, and I keep looping on myself, but there's so much to this. Deep Root Depths. I imagine the DLC is somewhere down there. I mean, take a look. The Nameless Eternal City built at the roots of what would be the Erd Tree. Because very likely that's its roots down there. These twisting black branches that extend in every direction are for the catacombs. They're reaching out, sucking up the power. Oh, and thank you for subscribing, Dire Lemur. Every single one of them is all bringing the power to the Erd Tree. That's how it feeds and extends its power. Now, what makes that most interesting is, who do we find nestled at the very depths of it? Nestled at the very bottom, against the Erd Tree itself, is the Prince of Death. Their body malformed and broken. Rot taking hold. Honestly, it's malformed being. Kind of reminiscent of that weird lion thing we're seeing prominently in the trailer. While we haven't seen much in the way of aquatic or fish yet, this malformed corpse with limbs sticking out and the death blight spreading in every direction. To me, there is no way that Miquella missed anything about this. If anything, folks, I'm going to say more than likely, after Godric died, after the big boy died down here, the Prince of Death, after he died, Marika sent Miquella down here and said, take a look at the truth of this. And Miquella, realizing that the tree can be altered, the tree can be manipulated. Like, folks, look at the purple water up here. The water is purple here and here alone, because it's stemming and flowing through the Prince of Death, and it's causing undeath. And what happens, and if you come out here, note that this water is stagnant. It isn't flowing. There is nowhere for this water to go. It was a point of honor to be buried so close to the Erd Tree itself, remember. But he's corrupting it. Thus, Miquella thought, well, if it can be corrupted, What would happen if I created the tree willingly? Could I create something better and so tried? The question becomes, well, why did his corpse become this? No other dead person becomes this monstrosity. Well, you can blame Ronnie for that one. Because he's dead only in soul and not in physicality. His body living in death. That's the answer, though. Living in death, the source of the undead, is entirely Ronnie's fault, yes. So, no, I don't regret choosing Ronnie's ending. Still, it's now the Prince of Death's location. And you'll see his face wedged pretty all over the land at this point. That's because his corpse is malformed, and don't be surprised if he gets back up. Because even now, it almost looks like he could lunge down at me, doesn't it? And think about how awkwardly that lion boss that summons lightning in the DLC trailer moves. Take a look. You could see the way it would head dive first at us, and then those arms would crawl at the ground to scrape at us, to drag it around. Simply put, this is what, in all truth, we're probably going to be expecting, is seeing how Mikola tried to advance and alter what would come. And if you ever have any doubts of what this is, check the crest on this. It's a little muck covered now, but it is the crest of the royal family. But yeah, don't be surprised if we're going to see plenty of what Mikola was tampering with. Because it's clear, Mikola had a goal in manipulating things. How benign or malevolent it'll be is yet to be seen. But it's very clear Mikola probably had the fullest picture of what was going on of anyone. If Rykard knew, would he have fed himself to the snakes in hoping to simply overcome the Erd Tree? Probably not, honestly. Rykard was supposed to be fairly intelligent in realizing that if he realized that just fighting and overcoming them physically wouldn't be enough, it would have been different. If Melania's faith was ironclad, she would not doubt nor resist what Mikola was trying to do. Again, there's so much here. And this area specifically, with Melania with Mikola having been here, think of it that way. How would Marika know about this place that's so hidden away? My personal belief, as I don't know if I've gone into it, is that Marika is in fact a Newman. For those curious, I don't have any of the runes left on me. Newmans were the early residents of the Nox. Was another, basically it's honestly almost a joke what they did, which is, the Nox basically pissed off the Greater Will. Yeah, the Nox essentially pissed off the Greater Will. And the Greater Will sent, well, basically a horde of meteors to wipe them out. And crush them. Thus burying all the Eternal Cities underground. But each of the cities was also shielded, so burying them just meant that they were underground and unable to see the sky anymore. Then, seeing that that didn't work, they sent Estelles. I said and I did mean that plural. They didn't send one or two. They sent several Estelles, which are an entire species that existed by the Greater Will, and sent them down here to these cities. Buried underground, the Nox just simply adapted. It's why this is the only Eternal City without a sky. Because Estelle famously stole it. Basically ate the magic. Leaving the Nox to survive, and those who wanted to live down here would live down here as the Nox. But there are those who would seek to colonize new areas. They became known as the New Men. Which is, honestly, I think, like, even in the Japanese translation, Newman is basically people from far away. We're not from here. We're new people. They lied through their goddamn teeth. Or rather, I guess it might be better to say that the residents of the Nox, well, they're more the puppets. They lost their physical bodies, likely being buried underground, growing actual food and their capacity to survive probably pretty close to nil. So they adapted to what degrees they could, but simply put, there probably wasn't enough food, so their solutions were either become puppets, yeah. Yep. Yep. There we go. Yeah. Like, I believe most of the Nox here are puppet bodies. If you want to know about that, do I have it on me? Yeah. Used to summon the spirits of Night Maiden and a Swordstress. These sisters, members of a cold-blooded race who wield flowing weapons, became puppets of their own volition. So, effectively they transferred their souls into these artificial bodies, allowing them to live on as, well, puppets. And basically managed to adapt and adopt a new lifestyle just underground. the puppet bodies are probably made of this silver material you'll find surging through these guys. These artificial beings that they managed to create. Silver tears, as they're called. It's very likely the puppet bodies are just this, what happens when you put a soul into a silver tear. Or there might be more steps to it, but it is still... Yep. Silver tear husks. I don't remember what recipe silver tear husks go for. Oh well. But yeah. More than likely, I believe Marika was a Nox. Or one of the Newmen who left the Eternal Cities. More importantly, would be where they became. Because where they would come up. Because the place I believe that Marika and her lived with the Newman is at the very beginning. Where is it? There it is. Heretical Rise. Albinoric Rise. There it is. The first church of Marika. You ever find it funny that Marika's first church is buried all the way out here? Like, think about this. She ruled from here in Lane Dale. And the only way to get to Lane Dale is through a pathway in the city that is blocked off and only allows, certain people through. And even then, you still need to get the specific item to be able to activate the Grand Lift of Rold. So the bulk of the lands between where most people lived wasn't particularly, wouldn't really know much about it. But Marika built her land here. This is where she built her following. And it's interesting because there's things like the Heretical Rise. There's all sorts of interesting things. But the best way to explain it all is actually here. No, sorry. The main city. Where is it? Snowfields. There we are. Ordina, liturgical town. Now, what makes this... For those who are unfamiliar, the term liturgical means having to do with the clergy. Having to do with religious or espousing religious or dogmatic ways, as well as being able to do good works in the name of the church. But there were 3 conflicting major churches of this area. Not the Church of the Eclipse, though. That's a later thing that's greatly tied to Mikola. But rather, there was the worship of the Giants, with the Forge of the Giants. There were the Zamor. And then there's the Newmen, who were trying to escape and survive. This led to The, the Newman who created, of course, both versions of the Albinaurics. Because there are two types, remember. There are two types of Albinaurics, the male and female. The male look like frogs. And the females who have whose legs do not work. Big sister. And she's still alive, but she's also, yeah. But each of these, the reason and note, no, you can't attack. It does have the gold symbol, so this is a peace area. It's a pain to get to, but it is one of those areas of, solemn peace you adhere to. Though, one thing that seems almost hypocritical in this game... Oh, I still have... Oh, I never bothered to pick up, huh. One thing that seems almost hypocritical in this game is the presence of these walking mausoleums. Because if you think of it, it was supposed to be an honor to go back to the Erd Tree. And yet these mausoleums exist specifically so that these souls cannot return to the Erd Tree. Like, that's the reason they walk, move, and defend themselves, is to keep them from falling and eventually being pulled away by the Erd Tree. Do I want anyone's particular... Remembrance of the Dragon Lord. And actually, that... Remembrance of the Goddess of Rot. Miquella and Melania are both children of a single god. As such, they are both Empyreans, but suffered afflictions from birth. One was cursed with eternal childhood, and the other harbored and rot within. So, Miquella could have held the rot at bay. And Malekith was a shadow-bound beast given to his Empyrean. Marika's sole need of her shadow was a vessel to lock away destined death. Even then, she betrayed him, leaving him trapped in Farum Azula. Godfrey first Elden was robbed of his grace, becoming tarnished. He took with him his kinsfolk and left the lands between. After the long march of the Tarnished came to an end, Godfrey divested himself of kingship, becoming a simple warrior once more. They're talking about, more specifically, it wasn't during his journey back that he divested of kingship. They're talking about right before the second phase of his fight, where he gives up. He stops being Godfrey, first Elden Lord, and fights you just as himself. Because at the end of the day, there's almost no need for you to fight him. Simply put, there's almost no need. He doesn't need to fight you. You both have easy, direct access to the tree. So theoretically, you could have just gone in, both of you. Placidus X. The Dragon Lord, whose seat lies at the heart of a storm beyond the time, is said to have been Elden Lord in the ages before the Erd Tree. So note, that's one of the key things. And the Erd Tree requires 3 things. The Elden Lord requires 3 things. They require their great rune. They require a god, and they require a symbol. In this case, Marika's, it was a vassal beast of the greater will and living incarnation of the concept of order. This was Marika's god of order. What happened, though, is the god felt that she was insufficient, and thus would recreate Radagon from her to do its will. And the god fled. Once his god was fled, the Lord continued to await his return. So Placidusax just waited and rotted away, waiting for something that could not return. Because again, the thing about Farum Azula is he's basically holding everything in stasis as best he could. Again, I truly believe, I guess the best way to put it, Miquella definitely got told about his power and holding it in place, and then told about Placidusax's attempt to do so, and seeing what remained of Farum Azula went, okay, so just holding things in place is not enough. I need to actively change them. And Marika, they get rather a symbol. So every Empyrean gets a beast, a supporter, their right of rulership, and a god they have to serve. Melania's was the goddess of rot. Was the god of rot. The goddess of blood and wounds was Moog. Morgoth's was again the same as Marika, as the Elden Beast. Radahn's, I'm trying to think. Radahn was definitely, he wasn't interested in the Elden Ring, Elden Lordship. He wanted to protect the people he wanted to protect. And he wanted to hold things in place. Again, same thing as Placidusax. Holding things in place and delaying things was not enough. Rykard, force of arms was not enough. For personal strength was not enough. And numbers would never be enough. The fire giants. Again, the thing to remember is each of these was hewn into the Erd Tree. In other words, the Erd Tree absorbed their memories and remembrances. And these headless corpses are allowing us to pull them back. I'm just trying to think. Because I already have... Okay. You know what? I don't have his sword. And I kind of like his sword. So yeah. But yeah. In each case, yep. Morgoth's cursed sword. Yep. I mean, it's gonna be weak as shit right now, but swords, I'm not the hugest fan of swords. I'll be perfectly honest, and I don't think I have any Sombras left to really upgrade this anyway, but no, I do. I got up to a 9, so... Okay. I guess why not? Like, if I'm gonna use any sword, at least Morgoth's has the Blood Flame. And having both twins' weapons is nice. Alright. So let's go... Yeah. Nice. There we go. Not the best. At least the L2 skill is pretty decent. But yeah. Mikola's and Melania, huh? Hey! There we go. Come on, come down here. Yeah. I mean, the swords are easy to use, but just personal preference. I've never been huge on them. Alright. Huh. Did I never get the big guy here to break this? I'm trying to remember. Yeah. Tri-Giant, yeah. I don't have anything big enough, because this doesn't count, unfortunately. Yeah. You need like a colossal weapon. Either way. That's not what I'm after anyway. Mikola Melania, huh? I always love that in this game they kind of direct you as like, if you're interested in something unique, head down this way where there's a guy slumped over. Let's see. Just seeing if there's any areas I particularly missed that are kind of out of the way, because that's easy to do with this game. Yeah, I might as well go back to the sword for now. Because it's got a decent stat line, because the high dexterity bonus. Plus, the curse skill actually comes in handy. Lots of things in this game don't like fire. Though, by and large, as I've always said, I prefer spears. Hello. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was just saying, just making sure. miss anything down there. There's nothing really too much down over here. Alright. But yeah. And yeah. Like I said, the Prince of Death's face is everywhere. And it spreads through the roots of the Erd Tree itself. So, the quest, it's one of the reasons I don't believe Shadow of the Erd Tree will be the only DLC. Because I truly want to believe we'll have to face the Prince of Death directly on some level. And I get the feeling that's one part of the story. Because Mikkel and Melania's story we hadn't gotten complete confirmation on. Marika/Radigan's being told more clearly would also be something like if we brought back the Queen of Death that Marika beat to become Elden Lord. That might be something. Oh, how long ago all this was. Where Godfrey's up little Trek's and worship of God, when Godric's worship of Godfrey and all his little efforts, let's call them, seemed so horrifying. Only to learn how monstrous everyone was in the story. Oh. There we go. But yeah. Yeah. 4-digit damage. Always love to see it. Huh. Wow, I really skipped over a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's the thing of playing this game through on multiple characters. You forget what things you've done on which character. Alright. Hey, puppies! Alright. And let's see. Horse. But yeah, it's Mikkel and Melania. It just feels like there's some parts of the story we're still missing to get a clearer picture. And that's one thing, all the DLCs usually give us a clearer image. But they did say that this is also the most expansive DLC they've ever done. So it's very likely we're only hitting the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. Alright. Not to mention... Yeah. Places we could still go. Hello. Yeah. Giant Hunt still remains one of my favorites. No, you won't survive that fall. It just, you always want to believe. Especially when you're strong enough for endgame, it's like, you want to think you can just jump down there and nope, nope, nope. Honestly, I'm trying to remember how to... Can you activate that elevator? I'm trying to remember where that goes. Man, my memory's starting to blank on me. Do you ever have to activate that elevator? Huh. I do not remember. I mean, I could just jump down and fall down, but I'm trying to remember where that activates from. Oh, wait, did I do that? Ah, the mark on the map there. So, yeah. That's where the round table hold would be. If it was, if it physically existed. Which, it's confirmed it doesn't. It just sort of exists in a sort of pocket dimension that the Erd tree itself is supporting. Huh. I am legitimately trying to remember where the hell that elevator goes. Did I really just miss it? Huh. It has been way too long. No. Let's see. But yeah. But that's the kind of thing that makes this game so worth playing, is every now and then you go, wait, did I ever actually do that? Executioners. Oh, hey, and I believe... Because with how expansive the DLC is, I'm going to laugh if we get the true silver cat ring that completely removes fall damage. I would laugh so hard if that became a thing. If that's what they mean by this is the most expansive, it's like, okay, the thing we punished you with, yeah, we're going to take that away. You're going to what? You're going to let us just fall down where we want to see if we can reach a place. Yeah, I mean, you'll still die if you're supposed to die, but yeah. I think that'd be hilarious. Like, the idea of that being a thing would be absolutely hilarious. Yep. Yep. Come on, guys. I'm just one person. Surely you can all take me. Well, I know for a fact they can't, so... Yeah. Good attempt, though. The honestly, the only other thing I could ask for in this game is the ability to use the enemy weapons against them. Just to be perfectly honest, that is the one thing above anything else. Being able to use the turrets and ballistas properly, I think would be a huge game changer. Oh. Yay, Stormhawk feathers. More specialty arrows. Range battle. Why? I never stop finding that funny. Range battle. Why? Yeah. Yeah. Any low-level character that kills pretty much instantly. Yep. Oh, got the Crescent Moon Axe. How nice. I say, I'm pretty sure I got rid of the line. Yeah, I did. Yep. You should lock on. Nah, I'm fine. Yep. But yeah, Mikla Millennium. There's, ah, there it is. Again, being able to just use those ballistas against enemies, even for the few times it would actually happen, would still be really nice. Yeah. Oh wait, did I really never... I don't think I even got the... I never bothered activating the Grace up here. Alright. Pardon me for kind of wandering off, but this is... I mean, this is half the fun of this game, is just... going through areas going, okay, so what did I miss? Because you knew you missed stuff. You always miss stuff. We all do. Okay. Alright. I guess that's the other thing, skill I could throw on the spear throw. Just to give me more ranged options and not have to worry about messing with my equipment all the time. Man, I never even bothered to come up here to get this Grace, huh? Eh. The fact you can't push it once you open it. Okay. And that means I never grabbed this. Yeah, the Commoner's Garb. Yep. That initial moment when you first come up here and you just go, okay, I'll try it. Nope. Yeah, Exiles. Because that's all freaking Godric could afford to hire. And yeah, that's to this tower. Yep, early game Trina's Lily. Not that you would know what to do with it that early on. Alright. Yeah. Yep. Never bothered to really consider how to get over to those guys, but I guess, yeah, so you gotta take the back, okay, so you gotta take the ramparts around. So I never bothered to really do it. Alright. Oh, almost walked into a flamethrower. Yeah. So yeah. That's the way I came out. Let's say, pretty sure I cleared out just about everything. Like I said, just about. Because this is all the front. Where you first enter, where... And he was just hoping I didn't notice him. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, and this is the side room. Just has the painting in it. I don't believe anything else. Yeah. Painting, I forget which item it leads you to, but it's nothing particular. None of the painting ones are... They're cute little puzzles, but none of them are actually that necessary, in my opinion. Okay. Let's see. Because this is the one that just brings you up to the midpoint. Yeah. Because this is just the backside of... Yeah. Though we did see some jars. And one thing I will always point out about the jars is if you notice their little arms and legs, they're rocky, like they're almost scaled. It's why I believe that the jars are actually early attempts to clone dragons. By the Nox that, by and large came as a failure, but was something they absolutely would try to do. Alright, so I need to get to the other side. So to do that, I believe we drop down here again. But this time, yeah, we try to make that jump. Because I believe it's possible. Oh. And nope. I completely fucked that jump up. Lift side chamber. I completely fucked that jump up. Okay. I should have some soft cotton I can make. Yep. Doesn't take much. Oh, I already have some. Perfect. Alright. There we go. Yep. Alright. There we go. Like, if I remember right... Yep. Hey, Bat. Yeah. Yep. Anyway. As I say, I remember being able to make that jump. Yep, can't use the horse here. Now I'm trying to remember how you're supposed to get up there. Or was it a case of you had to drop... Oh, I think you had to drop from higher up. Okay, I think it was a case of... Actually, I spoke about it. Let me put that on, because that's going to be the more useful ability at this point. So Ash of War for our spear. Where's Lance Throw? Quick Step, Stormcaller. I could have sworn I had Throw on here. Huh, that might be why. Okay. I'll have to take the time to go get Spear Throw. Alright. So let's see. Easiest way. Yep. Just barely made it. Alright. Plus, it's nice to see what areas I have and hadn't. Yep. It's nice to see what areas I hadn't actually cleaned out. Because it's easy to miss stuff your first times through. And this one is in fact my first playthrough character. Not yet. The DLC isn't out till June 21st. I've been mostly just talking about the DLC and then kind of got lost in doing other stuff. Alright. Ah, damn it. Oh well. Yeah, the DLC isn't out till June 21st, but I will definitely be there day one, I can say that much. I'll definitely be taking the day off work and enjoying myself to my fullest. Because that's going to be a lot of fun to see. Because Mikola remains one of the characters who has hidden the most. And from everything we can tell, and from everything I can gather, Mikola very much likely has the completest picture on what is going on in the game. And is actively either trying to resolve everything himself, or, more than likely, trying to maybe take power for himself? Hard to say. All I can say is that considering I've bought every DLC from FromSoft, so the price being $39, I don't feel that bad. But I also paid full price for the DLCs for 1, 2, and 3. So and all I can say is I've never felt like I got suckered by it. Every DLC has been a fun time. And the other major thing about them is every DLC also feels like they're telling a particular story or idea to completion. So, well, as the kids now say, to make myself feel old, let them cook. FromSoft has delivered on just about every front every single time for me. They have proven time and again that they know how to tell a story that you didn't expect to be what you were looking for, but it is what you're looking for. So if they want to focus on Mikola and Melania this one, I won't be surprised if they announce later on a second DLC that will basically delve into Marika Radagon. Just to be clear, that is a story that is incomplete in its current version. Marika being Radagon is the big twist, but that's not enough. Or rather, that's not everything to tell about it. Marika being Radagon is the start of the story. Because very likely Radagon is the Elden Beast taking control of Marika and basically puppeting her body. Why that's necessary, how it accomplished that, is very important. Because at the end of the day, Marika remains the key central figure whom the large portion of the story revolves around. So at the end of the day, that's a story that needs to be told more completely. But if we're going to get more of Mikola and Melania first, like I said, FromSoft has earned the respect and trust that this is what's going to help fill in pictures and gaps. Because Castle Soul is very much a clear Yep. There we go. Ow. Yep. Nope. Hit the wrong button. But yeah. Yep. Thanks, Aiden. Hope to see you later. Mikola and Melania are there are mysteries that we will get answers to and we won't. Alright. The bigger question becomes, because there are probably questions I'm not thinking of asking yet. And that's usually the more helpful thing. Is when you don't know, you don't know. Alright. Huh. Really? I never activated that gate. I really did miss a lot of stuff. Now, this is what happens when you play the game through. I really did miss... Oh, good grief. Because the entrance to that gate is actually... Lift side chamber should be... Yeah. Or... Secluded cell, would that be faster? Oh, man. Yeah, I played this game too much. I've forgotten what I did and didn't do. Okay. Well then... Okay, so I probably never even went... Oh god, I'm still having memory from fucking Dark Souls 3. I keep clicking L3 to run. Oh man, muscle memory can be a pain sometimes. Alright. Here we go. One of the more hidden backside areas. Smithing stone. You don't get anything too much major from it, especially since I've beaten the game already. It's just no enemy ahead. Technically speaking. Depends on which way you're going, I suppose. Hey, there's the Manor Tower shield. Oh. Oh. Let's see, I've forgotten how is it. It's overall weaker, but an iron great shield large enough to cover the entire body depicts the round table hold gathering place of champions. Great shields boast high and guard capacity, make it easy to yeah. But it is technically 1.5 pounds lighter. Sorry about that, folks. Surely what you seek is nearby. Yeah. Yeah. Right along here. Nope, trying to get the item. Yeah. So many people do that so much. It's happened to me too, so I can't laugh too hard, but... Nothing in the boxes. Rainbow stones. And yeah. Only thing to note, that is technically a one-way trip. If you go over there. So, what you want to do is hit this door to get you back to these, because that's this door. And then Alright. And finally, up here, there it is, the last path. And yeah, it was all for an Arteria leaf. Oh yeah, this game loves to fuck with you. Surely, after all this work to get up here, surely it's this fantastic... it's an Arteria leaf. I think I even have the recipe to use it, and I still don't care. I'm sorry. And yeah, no, it's... yeah. There's really not much, but it is just one of those. Alright, so from there, that's one place. The other one I need to go is unlock a... yeah. So yeah, that's one place you could go. Alright. Because the other one is... yeah, because that's where you fight Godric. The Tower of the Stormlord. Alright, so where we need to get to is the one basement room. Yeah, that... I mean, Giant Hunt does its job. Yeah. It's called Giant Hunt for a reason. You just tear through them. Alright, that's the room where you meet. I was gonna say, there's nothing really in here. No. Alright. Hey, birdie. Come on down. There we go. Alright. There we go. Alright. So that's one place. I'm trying to remember. Because now I'm just doubling back on myself. Yeah, because there's... ah, there's the door. Okay, there it is. Alright. Anyone wants to follow me, feel free, but here we go. This is actually what I'm looking for. Because I never bothered to open this passage. Yep. Oh, come here. There we go. The rotting food storage. Yeah, go ahead. Got plenty of the damn things. Can't believe it's been this long. Yeah, Godslayer seal. The Godskin prayer book. Memories of me playing Final Fantasy 15 where I got all the secret weapons, went through even the hardest dungeons, and I was still missing one of the ancestral weapons. I'm like, where the hell is it? It's a temple that's literally right by the road. You don't even have to do anything. It's literally right on the road, and it's just because it's optional and I missed it on the map. Max level, done everything already. It's just missing that one, so this must be some kind of super secret It's right by the road. It's literally right by the road. Yeah, Godslayer's seal. Godskin apostles inlaid with obsidian, said to represent the manipulation of black flame. This catalyst enhances Godslayer's incantations. Unsurprisingly. And for the books, Frenzied Fervor, Armor, Nomadic Warriors. I was gonna say, probably just the arrows. Oh, Holigbone arrows. Huh. Nomadic warriors, armorers, perfumers, fervor. Godskin prayer book. Oh! It's not a cookbook, it's a prayer book. Oh. Well, you know what? I haven't gone to see the turtle in a while. Let's see. Alright, now the question. Is someone gonna try and gank me for this? Is the turtle here, or am I getting ganked? Nope, turtle's here. Oh.
Greetings. Do you need anything?
Give a prayer book. The Godskin.
What have we? Very well. That heresy is not native to the world. It is but a contrivance. All things can be conjoined.
Actually, that brings me back to the whole thing of why unalloyed gold was Miquella's big thing, was looking to purify. Whereas the Golden Order sought to take everything into itself. Alright. The Black Flames. Oh, what the hell? Ball and enchants right-hand weapon armament with Black Flame. Golfs the armament held in right hand with Black Flame. This game cast without delay after performing another action. Black Flame is weighty. After dealing damage, it continues to sap foe's HP by a percentage for a long time.
You know, it's said that Lord Radigan, a famed sculptor of the Erd Tree capital, was once summoned to render Lord Radigan's likeness in giant stature when he glimpsed the skeleton in Radigan's closet. And as such, it's said the great statue harbor.
Yep. So, and we already know that secret is Marika and Radigan are in one body. Though it's worth noting that he was painting Radigan. He was supposed to sculpt Radigan, and Marika is what came out. Meaning, very likely that he didn't have full control or of his appearance. After all, Radigan wouldn't knowingly or willingly have exposed his secret like that. Alright. Yep. Those living in death. consequences of Godwyn's death. The Second Liurnian War, no victory for the Golden, nor for the Moon, no prize but atonement, the birth of a vow, and the marriage of Radigan to Renala. So we stand and watch. Erd Tree, Atlas Highway Junction, the Stormcaller Church. Now, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? What's a church dedicated to the Stormcallers doing so far away from the church, from this, Stormvale Castle? I don't know, it just... There's so many secrets and so many things left. You can become Elden Lord, but that doesn't actually resolve anything. That just moves everyone on to the next stage. Whereas, in one's case, you saw how things got bad, and that in one you got to see why things got bad enough that Gwyn thought the only way for things to get better was to sacrifice himself on the fire and try and link the fire. It was because all his knights were falling, his children abandoning him. Simply put, he saw no way for the Age of Fire, for the age of his life, to continue. Wherein he could actually pursue. He had to link the fire to the humanity, to the eternal fountain of humanity. Oh, that's adorable. The routing of ancient dragons, Godwyn the Golden fought to the last, earning the friendship of the dread Fortisax. Yeah, the dragon's like, dude, points, I gotta give you respect, that was badass. And so they became friends, and alright. Nice. Before he hit the ground. Alright. Yep. And Stormcaller, of course, has the gravel stones, because that's the symbol of the dragons and the respect that the Golden Order allowed. Because, again, the Golden Order sought to be all-encompassing. It would accept any and everyone. But Mikola found that that was insufficient, because while that was great for conquering the land, it wouldn't cure or rectify the problems that had been bound by that need for power to do those feats. In other words, it couldn't cure Melania, so what good was any of it? Another stone sword key. To replace the one I used, but unnecessarily. Yep, vulgar blooms. If you want to make lightning pots, these are fantastic. Of course, they call down lightning, so... Oh! I never killed Landsax? Wow, I really didn't do much. Okay. Okay, get off the horse. I didn't even kill Landsax. Oh, man. Forgive me, folks. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Ow. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Heal up. I was gonna say, Landsax here will take care of him. Yep. Ow. Oh, man. That's too funny. I never killed Landsax out here. Oh, man. See, this is why you go back through this stuff. Alright, this'll be quicker than trying to wait for the elevator. Alright. Still, that's really kind of funny. There we go. And yeah, I could try and equip more specifically against anti-lightning, but let's be honest. I'm wearing it. I've got enough defense. Oh, what the hell? Let's even make this funnier. Yep. Took it on the shield. Not bad. Yep. Alright. 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 Gonna take it off the shield. Nice. Yep. Giant hunt. Aw, come on. Aw. I really wanted that to land. Come on, one giant hunt. Thank you. That's all I wanted. Ow. Yeah, Lansac still hurts, like... Yeah. Like, he still hurts like hell. And we got his glaive, finally. What does that require, anyway? 40 faith, okay. Yeah, channels the power of the ancient dragon Lansax, reds area from above. The Lansax was the sister of Forthisax. It is said that she took the form of a human to commune with the knights as a priestess of the ancient dragon cult. Huh. Oh, there you go. Alright. Yep. Alright. Well, there you go. Little areas were just Finger Reader Crone, Nomadic Merchant. Alright. So, another place we could actually look. Oh, okay. Right. I gotta get off the wall first before they'll let me summon. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Because Torrent is utterly immune to all status effects. Though, another theory I've had, and it's... like, we're not given enough, so hopefully we'll get a clearer idea. But... see if we can see it from here. Yeah, no. That area on the map, this well, we can't see it from up here. We're too high up on the Atlas Plateau. But it is worth noting, there are tons of map details that I wonder if we'll get any clarity on. I never bothered coming back here. Starlight Shards. Basically grant you FP regen, or certain shops work with them. But, like, you can't see it, but there's like details where there's like shipwrecks and honestly, it's one of those things where you don't get to see much of it, but it's clear that from the map, reaching the lands between is not an easy feat. I mean, the plainest place to tell you that is out here. Though there shouldn't be a reason, something about the water here crashes ships. So reaching this place is actually a bit of a struggle. Well, the reason would be obvious. This whole area is sort of elevated. Because what it is, like I've said, this entire area is in my theory, Anyway, this entire area is what was sent to crush the Newman. The reason we have the underground sections is because those eternal cities were up on the surface, and what we're living on is the rock that the Greater Will dropped on them to try and for their blasphemy, because they're the ones who stole away the former god that was the god of the Forge, as well as the god of the Forge, as well as the god of the king, Placidusax. Dragon Lord Placidusax. If I had to guess, because it's one of the thing this entire island is missing, because this is an island nation now. This entire place, this entire continent. Why is there no ports? It's the biggest question I've had. Why are there no ports? Why is there no place for a bigger ship to dock? And the answer is simple. Because there's nowhere for them to... Because there's no need, or there was seen as no need, to communicate with those outside the lands between. This is an isolated area. This is a part of... because it's called the Lands Between, inferring that it is part of a bigger world. And we know that there are other areas in other parts of the world, the Eastern Armor, there's countless references to places outside the Lands Between. But, at the same breath, how did they get here? How would they know? The only way, there's no ports anywhere. Unless I'm missing some, let me know, but as far as I'm aware, there's nowhere for a big ship to dock in this entire place. Even the place you would have expected here in the Howling Tree. No, those are only towers. There are no docks anywhere here. None. And it's clear some people have tried to pass through or get here. I mean, just look out. There's just shipwreck right there. But something keeps everything away. In that particular case, you could make an argument that Radahn shot that down. And bear in mind, that's not a unique thing. There are a couple of coasts where you see people just standing on the beach, staring outwards. They're gone hollow, they're completely dead, but they're there. But much of this, the coast is unusable. But so you'd think that any place that would have a port would become all the more valuable. Hell, even the idea of having a port to just reach the frigging Holic Tree. No, you have to take an underground path to get here. There's not even a port that would let you get across from Altus to Caelid or Liurnia. You would think there would be boats that would take you across. It should be a relatively simple sail. And there are none. At no point and at no location is there a port. Hello, Oliver. And as I pointed... Not too bad, you? Wait. Wait. No way. Okay. Now, it'd be... So that's Limgrave, Kaled, isolated. Okay, so that's definitely Limgrave. I suppose... Yeah, no, that's definitely Kaled. Okay. An isolated one. Because... I was going to say, because there's no way this one lets you see Miquella's tower. Because Miquella's is the only tower we don't have access to. It makes sense, but it is a case of... Nope. DLC isn't out till the 21st. I'm just talking about the DLC and seeing what we can piece together about it from the trailer and where we are. This is just me gushing about the DLC more, basically. Because basically one of the biggest theories for me right now is pointing out that we don't know where Miquella's tower is, but there's a very clear point where we can see it. Because it's clear that it would be here. This is where Miquella's tower should be. But it's hidden. And it's probably due to the fact that he didn't want anyone he didn't trust. If you check my channel, I have played 1, 2, and 3 through all with the DLCs all through last year. Yep, I love the Soul series. I love talking about the story specifically, so if you're just in it for the gameplay, unfortunately, I am a boring person. However, I love the world and stories of these games. The details, the lore, the way the characters are built, love it. And with all right... Yeah. So, if I had to say... Not yet. I'm holding that off for a bit. I may do that just before I do the DLC of, before the DLC comes out. Just to keep me in the Souls mood. Before the DLC comes out, where I just lose myself for a month. Well, not a month, like a week or two. But either way. So... Huh. Wait. I never noticed that on the map. there's a depiction of two different groups either attempting to come ashore or escape, and another pointing this way towards the storm. That is Farum Azula. It could just be a placeholder or kind of a charming little thing, but it also might be indicative of those trying to come shore and being rebuffed. Because, well, with the water flowing, actually, because as you can see from the waterfall there, and as you can spot from various locations, the lands between are at a higher elevation than most of the rest of the lands around them. I've explained this because essentially what happened is the Nox of the Eternal Cities basically pissed off the Greater Will by trying to experiment, by managing to capture the god of Placidusax and the god of the Giants. And effectively, they tried to make their own god. This pissed off the Greater Will to the point where it dropped a boulder, a space rock, on top of just about everything they had built. Which is why it's the reason there's a cutoff, and the giant mountain of the giants and Farum Azula were off to the side. However, what's interesting about that is that also implies actually, that makes a lot of sense. The force of the shockwave was great enough. It pushed up the mountain of the giants. I'm willing to bet this wasn't as high as it was before. Effectively, it displaced the land. It pushed down hard enough that it pushed this up, the mountaintops of the giants, and threw off Farum Azula. Because it's clear that Farum Azula was never on the ground. If you look at the description of the Seat of the Sun, like, it's the only mentioned in the Tower Shield, where the only place you get it is Farum Azula, and it's used by the beastmen who live there. So, like, if I go to the sword chest, see if I have one of the shields in this place. Alright. Yeah. Sunrealm Shield. Shield of honor depicting a city crowned by the sun. It has seen better days. Much like the wear upon the shield, the seat of the sun is long faded away. Well, a flying city held by beastmen would certainly that was flying would certainly justify being called the seat of the sun, and the seat of the moon in Noxtella. What am I thinking of? Because it's Aqueduct facing falls, Ancestral Woods, the Night Sacred Nokron, Eternal City, River Depths. Because it was the Night Sacred yeah. Here in the city of Nokron, there's the big building where you have the giant who... You have a giant. The crypt chairs. Is that what they're called? Yeah, same as here. Actually, in all of them. The only one that technically doesn't... No, wait, it does as well. It has one of the chair crypts. Yeah, it's just down here, isn't it? Yeah, I believe there's a chair crypt in every... Because it's not just there. It's also in Celia, Town of Sorcery. What am I thinking of? Celia... Chair crypt of Celia. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. Though this one doesn't have a giant, it links it to the Eternal Cities. Because there, and then here is the exact same kind of crypt. This one with a giant in a golden robe. Huh. Oh, shit. I'm gonna be late for work. Oh, gods, I've been going way too long. This is the problem with this game. This is the problem with me. I get way too into the story and I completely lose track of time. Alright, folks, I want to thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now, folks. Bye for now.